What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's doing all right tonight. We're going to get started in just a minute. And we are going to be talking, as you can see on the screen, we're talking corners. We're going to get back into our draft series as we talk about the NFL corners that are coming out. And so I hope you guys are ready for the show. And we're going to have a lot of fun. And I'm glad everybody is here. And more of you will probably start coming on in here in just a bit. Make sure y'all share this show out on Instagram, also on Facebook, and also on Twitter. And we're going to get ready to get started in just a bit. It's a big night. I know there's a lot of wrestling going on, and also got a happy birthday to Titan Upload because I know he's got a big show coming up in just a bit as well. So let's go ahead and get started. And I know more of you will be piling in as we get this show started, but let's get it on. Titans and Truth.
Let's get Titans up. Titans up. I've been scoping from the sideline, waiting for the right time to send the freshest team to scrimmage. So I'm busting y'all. Welcome to We got this here. Don't worry about it. We got this here. It's Ninja City, so out your lap. Don't worry about it. See, we got this here. It's a brand new dance and it's about to go live. Titan, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Then you tighten 2 steps, step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere. Game face, yeah, we got it on. Sticking out our chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Count that. It's about to get rough. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Tighten 2 steps, step to the right. Then you tighten 2 steps, step to the left. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Third down.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome on in to Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a great episode for you tonight. I know more of you are going to start piling in. Again, make sure y'all share this show out. Let everybody know that we are here and we are live, and we're going to have a lot of fun on this evening. We're going to be talking cornerbacks. Talking about some of the guys that the Titans could be looking at drafting because cornerback is a big-time need on this team, and hopefully everybody is safe, especially here in Memphis. There's a storm coming on right now, and so hopefully everybody is nice and safe at home. I'm definitely safe. I'm not getting out in this weather or anything like that, so I just thank everybody for tuning in. And if you haven't came on in yet, come on in. Invite everybody else on in here too. So we're going to get into this right now with defensive backs. But there are some other pieces of news that we do need to talk about first before we do get into that. And the first thing is that the Tennessee Titans bring back an old familiar face in former Titans defensive coordinator. And y'all hear the storm behind me, so I apologize for that. You hear that we are bringing back Jim Schwartz as defensive coordinator. Not as defensive coordinator. He was a former Titans defensive coordinator, but of course is now coming in as a defensive a senior defensive assistant. And so about one thing about this that I think is interesting is that one thing that's interesting about this is that it makes you wonder, what is his role going to be? What is his role going to be? Is his role to be to, consult and just, give some knowledge to the defense to make things better? Or is it, you know, basically, to help Shane Bowen, train him up to be a better defensive coordinator? That could be, the questions in mind of what does this mean as far as Jim Schwartz coming in. I mean, honestly, I think he is here to consult, help, maybe Shane Bowen get better. But I would not be surprised if he is also a kind of a safety blanket. So if Shane Bowen fails, which a lot of us do not have the greatest amount of confidence in him, then hey, Jim Schwartz could basically be the de facto defensive coordinator to help this Titan defense. I think they've gotten better with players, and so now it's up to coaching. And what is Vrabel's part in this going to be? That's going to be a big question. What's up, Hakeem? Al Pierce. What's up, Orla Struck? Titan fan, what's going on? Matt Moon, what's going on with you? So a lot of you, I want to know what your thoughts are. Do y'all like this move by the Titans bringing back Jim Schwartz? Do you like this move, Mike Vrabel, bringing in a familiar foe? I mean, a familiar face, excuse me. Because Jim Schwartz had no connection to Mike Vrabel in the past. He's never coached with Vrabel. He's never done any of that with Vrabel. There's no connection. So the question is this a good move or not? I see Titan fans saying good move on Facebook. Says, I think his presence will be felt more in the meeting room than the sideline. Renegade says, I'm not completely convinced Vrabel had anything to do with this move. My gut is telling me this is a J-Rob solo move. And if it is, I'm fine with that too. Because the fact of the matter is this. Mike Vrabel is, I will say he's a pretty good head coach. I just don't think he's a very good defensive coach. We all know that Mike Vrabel had one of the worst defenses. We finished 28th defensively last year with Shane Bowen calling the plays and him overseeing it. We know in Houston, they were ranked dead last defensively. And that was with a healthy J.J. Watt, a healthy Jadeveon Clowney, and Whitney Merciless, on there. And the defense before, Houston's defense was pretty good before, and they're not good in that year. So I'm with a lot of you. I think this is a very good move with that, because I like the fact that with this move, it's basically an insurance policy, if you ask me. This is an insurance policy, and it basically says, and it may make Shane Bowen step his game up. Why? Because he might be looking over his shoulder thinking, well, if I don't step up, if I don't do my job, Jim Schwartz is going to be taking over for me. So I don't mind that at all. Put a little pressure on Shane Bowen. Now that's probably not what it is, but I'm just saying, in my mind, that's what it could be. And so I know a lot of y'all, if you're a wrestling fan, y'all are probably watching NXT TakeOver right now. Trust me, I'm going to watch some of that too. And I know Titan Upload has a show coming up later on. Happy birthday to Titan Upload. He had his birthday this weekend. Also, I will be on with Mr. Titan tomorrow. He having his 1-year anniversary show. I will be a part of that also for a bit. So shout out to those guys, and shout out to Kim Moore and everything. So I'm definitely proud of those guys. Let's see. Al Pierce says anything is an improvement over last year. Now that I agree. Anything is an improvement over last year. I mean, last year, this team was, again, 28th, bottom half, was in the bottom third, was in like the bottom 5 in sacks. And I think if in the end, if you could get from 28th to say 15, that's a massive improvement. I would be down for that. I would definitely be down for that. Hakeem says Jim Schwartz, he's here to help game planning. And hey, that's a good thing. Anything that Jim Schwartz does would be a good thing. Of course, Ken Moore, what's up to Ken coming in? He's saying Schwartz and Vrabel will be fighting by week 8. And honestly, that would be a good fight, in my honest opinion. That would be a good fight. I hope that's not the case. Joseph said, I think Schwartz is coming for Bowen's job. I also like the move as well. I don't think that's really what's going on, although I could see that. I could see Schwartz taking over if Bowen screws up. What's up, Stephen Crosby? AZ Mick, what's going on? Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, Schwartz is a 4-3 guy. Vrabel's a 3-4 guy. But y'all have to remember, front multiplicity. You got to remember that. You know, there have been quite a bit of times where there were 4-down line sets that we had. There were times that was, that was the case. There were not, there was some time where it was 3-down linemen and 2 from the outside, but a lot of times we had 4-man fronts. So I think that's something that Jim Schwartz can help with. And remember, Jim Schwartz, along with former Titans defensive line coach Jim Washburn, they were both very good with defensive lines. That's another thing. You got Danico Autry, you got Big Jeff, you got Landry, you got Bud Dupree. This only helps our front get stronger. That only helps our front look better when it comes to that. So that's what I like. That's what I'm down with and everything. So Crosby says Jim Schwartz era means a new era has begun. I don't know necessarily if it's that, but we'll definitely see. But in all, I like this move. I really like this move. If I had to go from 1 to 10 on this move, I'm going to give it an 8. I like this move a lot. I think it only helps Shane Bowen. I think this may help Mike Vrabel too. Schwartz has a lot of knowledge on how defenses are ran. And, Eagle defenses were very good up front with Fletcher Cox, with Graham, and I'm forgetting some of the other guys, Tim Jernigan, some of those guys. They were very good up front. That much is a fact. And so that's only going to help this Titan defense. So I definitely like the move of Jim Schwartz coming along. And y'all keep leaving your comments, telling me what y'all think about that. So Al Pierce saying hybrid could finally happen. I could see a hybrid being the case. I'm down. I'm with it. So I like the move indeed. Some other news that happened, that's happened around the league is there was a trade. The New York Jets trade Sam Darnold, quarterback Sam Darnold, to the Carolina Panthers for a 2021 6th rounder and also a 2nd and a 4th rounder in 2022. So, I think this is a good thing for the for Sam Darnold. He may be able to have a resurrection in Carolina, compete with Teddy Bridgewater for that starting job. And this also guarantees you the Jets are taking a quarterback in the 1st round. Zach Wilson has been mocked to the Jets for a long time. So this move I think is good for the Jets. They're starting over with a new coach. He can pick his guy. With Sam Darnold, he gets to resurrect his career. Now, there is a small rumor, and there's really not a lot of credence to it that now Teddy Bridgewater wants out because Carolina traded for Sam Darnold. We're definitely going to see what this means. And some people have said, could Sam Darnold have a Ryan Tannehill-like resurrection? I mean, again, Sam Darnold has plenty of time. He's only 23 years old. Ryan Tannehill was like 30 already coming to the Titans. And I think Sam Darnold's a decent quarterback. He's away from Adam Gase. So this could be a new beginning for him. We're definitely going to see. First off, he's going to have to beat out Teddy Bridgewater. And if that happens, then things are looking up. Matt Rule is the head coach down there. I think this could help as well. Matt Rule was a very good offensive coach at Baylor. So we're definitely going to see what that means and what that's going to do. Spicy Curry, what's going on with you, man? Welcome into the show. Let's see. Joseph, you're absolutely right. Schwartz led a defense to a Super Bowl. So that could be what helps. That could definitely be what helps. Al Pierce says, I'll take Bridgewater as our backup quarterback. Obviously, Bridgewater, he wants to be a starter. He wants to prove he is starting quarterback material. And I think he deserves that opportunity to do so. I think Teddy Bridgewater definitely deserves that opportunity to show that he is indeed starting quarterback material. You know, he coming back off of that gruesome injury. Excuse me for that. So I think he deserves that shot. But I like this move for both sides. Jets start over. They get some more picks. In the second and fourth round of 2022. And the Panthers is good for them. They get to start. They get to have a quarterback competition. And at the same time, they keep their pick at 8. So they might be looking to trade down and get more picks with that. So they don't have to worry about trying to draft a quarterback. So I think, again, that's good for both parties. I like that. Ken Moore says Bridgewater better than Darnold. Right now, yes, I agree. Bridgewater is better than Sam Darnold right now. Bridgewater, I think, would be good. But Sam Darnold, I think there's still some talent. Hopefully he doesn't see ghost. Hopefully we don't see ghost. Steve Croswell says the Broncos are in the mix for Bridgewater. I mean, right now the Broncos are looking probably at a quarterback too. I think they don't believe in Drew Lock anymore. So we're going to find out. They don't believe in Drew Lock anymore. I think they're ready for a new beginning as well. Spicy Curry say, you think Richard Sherman will be good for us? Now, I know Titan Upload is talking about that tonight. Would Richard Sherman be good for us? I am trying to look up the rumor. I really haven't heard anything as far as Richard Sherman to the Titans. I really haven't seen anything with that. So I'm trying to see what that is about. Let's see. I'm trying to see. I'm looking at something later, but I haven't seen anything where Richard Sherman would be an option. I mean, I like Richard Sherman. I mean, I think he is a little bit past his prime now, but Sherman's always been instinctive and smart. But I think we also need to get younger at the position. So that's why I don't see Richard Sherman being a viable option, because, I mean, that's why we got Jackrabbit. So that's something that we're definitely going to find out. Mr. Titan, what's going on? Welcome on in here. And, Steve Croswell coming in saying that we'll have to wait until after the draft. And that's true. You got to wait. Most of the time, you got to wait till after the draft. We only have a couple of weeks until the draft. So I think a lot of players are going to wait. We have 3 weeks from Friday until the NFL draft. I don't think any free agents are going to sign until after that. So, I mean, the more the merrier, but I still think Richard Sherman might be past his prime, to be honest. But let's see. Spicy Curry says, I think we should draft a corner rather than sign one. And I think the Titans are going to draft a corner. And we're going to talk about corners in just a little bit. Let's see. Over Chicken says, did you see the Titans interested in Zach Ertz? I have heard that. I did see that the Titans have inquired about Zach Ertz. I also seen that they've inquired about J.C. Jackson. And remember, there is a second-round tender on J.C. Jackson. So if we sign him and the Patriots don't match, then we're giving up our second-round pick this year. So that is something that we got to wonder about. Is that we're giving up a second-round pick? I mean, if we're drafting a corner in the second round, I could see that being a possibility. Now, Zach Ertz is for a fifth or sixth rounder. I might be okay with that, but Zach Ertz is injury-prone. And it only depends if you can't get a tight end early on, say in the third or fourth round, then maybe I see that as a possibility with that. So, I mean, we'll definitely have to see where this goes. We got 3 weeks. We're going to see how the board shapes out for the Titans and things like that. And, you know, with more pro days coming, we're going to see where the Titans are going. They're looking at receivers and corners. I mean, J-Rob was at Minnesota's pro day looking at Rashad Bateman. I want to say there was some stuff about Northwestern, so they were probably looking at Greg Newsom, and I want to say they were at Miami's pro day looking at Brevin Jordan or Jalen Phillips or Gregory Rousseau. They were at South Carolina's pro day. They checked out J.C. Horn, so that's something else too. They were at Alabama's pro day, so I guarantee you they're looking at all possible options. And Spicy Curry, I'm with you. I like Kadarius Toney a lot myself too. I definitely am a fan of Kadarius Toney. Rashad Bateman is definitely very good also with that. But let's see. Overchick is saying I would take J.C. Jackson, lose the second rounder. J.C. Jackson did well last year. I mean, basically that would be what it is. That would basically be saying, hey, the Titans have drafted J.C. Jackson and have paid him. So that's what I would be seeing when it comes to that. Okay. But now let's talk corners. Let's talk cornerbacks because we're back on draft needs for the Tennessee Titans. Of course, we already talked about pass rushers. We talked about wide receivers. Now we're going to get into the corners because this is what I think is the number, I would say 1A, 1B, along with wide receivers. This is, I think, one of the biggest needs that the Titans have to address. And so there are some good corners out there that is definitely a possibility. And, you know, some corners that we definitely need to pay attention to. So, you know, there are some others that I like. For example, from Minnesota, I like Benjamin St. Juice, Ifeatu Melifonwu from Syracuse. You got Elijah Bowden, who I did like almost in my top 5 from Washington. Of course, TD has raved a lot about Elijah Bowden. He likes him. He likes Keith Taylor, the cornerback from Washington as well. Aaron Robertson could be a good slot corner from Central Florida. Some dark horses from Georgia, Tyson Campbell and Paulson Adebo from Stanford. Both have good size, but I do think there are some flaws in their game with that. But we're going to go ahead and go into my top 5 corners that I think the Titans could be looking at. And before we do go into that, first off, here are the corners the Titans do have. You got Jackrabbit, Janoris Jenkins. You got Christian Fulton, who these two guys look like they're the starters. Breon Borders, who did very well, with the exception of the Cleveland game, did very well. Kareem Orr is another guy that we're going to see if he can step up, maybe earn some time. But, of course, we also lost Adoree Jackson and Malcolm Butler. We released both of those guys. Malcolm Butler, of course, now in Arizona, and Adoree Jackson is now in New York. So, cornerback is a move that we have to replace. It's definitely a move that we have to replace. And so here are my top 5 corners. I'm going to go from 5 to 1. Number 5 is this guy. Oh, no, I'm having a little. There we go. Number 5 is this guy. And that would be Eric Stokes from Georgia. 6'1", 185. I mean, I think he has very good size. He had 4 interceptions, 20 total tackles. I mean, he has elite speed, like sub 4.3. Sub 4.3 speed. Very good in run support. He is a ball hawk. He has a knack for the ball. He had, I believe, 2 pick sixes this past year. And so I like speed. I like speed very much so. And that's what Renegade was saying. Stokes, I know we haven't had luck with former Bulldogs, but the boy is fast. Yeah, forgive me for that. But yeah, Renegade, you're right. I love the speed. Speed is something that we desperately need, especially when you're going up against guys like Tyreek Hill, when you're going up against Kansas City, you're going up against Buffalo, and those kind of teams. You got to have some speed on the outside, and Eric Stokes definitely has that. Now, he's not as athletic as some of the other guys on this list. He does tend to be a little grabby and contact heavy, which could definitely lead to penalties and things like that. And, he does have to do better with recognizing routes and things like that and having good anticipation and things like that. So that's something that he does have to work on and get better with. But as much as I hate this word, I like upside. He definitely has some upside. Now, Renegade comes out saying, does he love ball? That's a very good question. That is an excellent, excellent question. I mean, that's going to be the question with all these guys. Do they love ball? That is going to be the question, because obviously that is the focal point of this entire draft scenario, is guys that love football. Number 4, Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky. Now, he has good size at 6'1", 195. I think he does like ball a lot. Now, don't read into the stats. I apologize. The stats are incorrect. He actually had 4 interceptions, 25 tackles. 25 tackles, 4 interceptions. And he's definitely got a knack for the ball as well. He has a knack for the ball. He's good in zone. He's definitely good in a deep third zone. Could get better. Could definitely get better in man coverage. He still could use some work on that, but could definitely get better in man coverage. He is very, very physical, which I like that, and has a lot of good. He has definitely some good speed and size. Now, he is inexperienced. He was an LSU Tiger, so he had to sit out 2019. He had to sit out, only had 20 games under his belt. Definitely needs some help on footwork. I don't think he's ready to start day one, but I say, being behind Jack Rabbit and Christian Fulton, learning off of that, I think he'll be ready year two. He could be a guy that could be a project as far as I'm concerned. So I like him, but I think he's a project, and he's going to need time. Now, the next three guys I think are guys that are ready right now to start. One, number 3 is Asante Samuel Jr. Of course, we know he is the son of former 4-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ, New England Patriots corner Asante Samuel. He had 3 interceptions this past year. 2 of them were against Georgia Tech and had 30 tackles. He's very good in man coverage. That's something that I noticed. I think he's very good in man coverage, but I think he's also pretty decent in zone. I think he plays bigger than what his size is. He's only 5'10", 180. Some people would think, well, could he play? Is he better for inside or outside? I think he could do both. He's very versatile. He's very athletic. Now, he is undersized. I think his ball skills are a bit inconsistent. He could use some work in the run game as far as his tackling technique. He could be a little bit better with that. I still think he's good, but I think he could be better. And the last thing is, will he be as good as his old man? Could he be as good as senior? That's going to always be the question when it comes to him. Steve Croswell says, Joseph not worth it. Mr. Titan says, Florida State. Heck yes. I am a Florida State fan, even though they stunk last year. Steve Croswell said, maybe his father could join the Titan coaching staff. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I definitely wouldn't mind. I mean, you could definitely see Asante Samuel helping these the secondary as well. So I do like Asante Samuel, but I do think he still has some work that he needs with that. But I like Asante Samuel. I watched him in some games against Georgia Tech, against Florida State, against Miami, and also against Pittsburgh. Number 2 is going to be Greg Newsom II. Now, one thing about Greg Newsom, I could not find a lot of film to watch of him, but I did watch against Nebraska. I did watch a bit of him against Illinois. I hate he didn't play against Ohio State, but one thing about him, he is very aggressive. He has very good speed. He recovers very well. He went to Northwestern, so I like his football IQ. I think he's very smart. However, he is very contact heavy, which could lead to penalties. The game against Nebraska, he had penalties. Pass interference, and I believe he also had a horse collar penalty in that game. Now, another thing that does worry me with Newsom is probably not so much you have to worry about. It's the lack of production. He only had 1 career interception in 3 seasons as a player with Northwestern. So that might be something to concern with. But again, your main focus is stop the other guy from catching the ball. But I like Newsom's aggressiveness. It's a strength, but it's also a weakness with that. So be careful not to get so contact heavy that you end up causing yourself a penalty. So I like Greg Newsom. I think he's Definitely one of the best corners in this draft. I think he'll be a great fit indeed. So I am definitely a fan of Greg Newsom. But my number one corner on my list. Now, again, I didn't put Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn on this list. Why? Because they're probably going to be long gone before the Titans pick. Now, there's a good chance this cat is gone too in Caleb Farley, but I really like the skills of this guy. I really like his skills. He had 4 interceptions in 5 games. He has great size, build, excellent speed. He can close really well. I think he has a knack for the football as well. Sometimes he beats the receiver to the route. He's super athletic. He's also physical. I like a physical corner, 6'2", 200 pounds. He is definitely a prototypical corner that we need. Now, he does tend to bite on the first move, which sometimes means he gets beat by double moves. And sometimes he struggles with getting his head around to see the football so that he can, knock it down or intercept it. But the main thing that a lot of people are worried about is the injury concern. He had back surgery. Now, again, he's saying it will not be an issue. He'll be ready to go. This Caleb Farley could very well be another Jeff Simmons situation. Jeffrey Simmons, of course, dealt with injury towards ACL. Titans picked him at 19. I don't think the Titans regret picking him at all. But yes, we do need a guy that's ready to play right now. Would Caleb Farley be ready to go game 1? That is the question. That would be the question. Now, Caleb Farley might not be there at 22 either. I think he has a better shot at being at 22 than Surtain or J.C. Horn and maybe even Greg Newsom. But I think if Caleb Farley is there, I would strongly consider taking him at 22 because he would definitely answer the question of needing a shutdown corner. I would like it. Mr. Titan says, I don't think he'll be there at 22, but you never know. Hey, we didn't think Jeff Simmons was going to be there at 19, and he was there. We're definitely going to have to see. I think there is even a scenario where we could trade back a few spots and still get him. Because, again, that back issue is a lot of concern. And he sat out last year. So that's something that we're definitely going to have to see. But I like Caleb Farley. I like him. The injury does concern me. We'll have to see. If he checks out medically, I think he will be an absolute steal of a pick. Would be a steal of a pick indeed. So I definitely like that. Al Pierce says we need guys that can man up. Asante would be a great choice. Farley would be better, but I don't think he'll be there at 22. We're definitely going to see. We're going to definitely see about that. But those are my top 5 corners. Those are my top 5 guys that I like, that I think would be excellent picks for the Tennessee Titans. Again, Ben St. Juste, I like him as well. I like Elijah Molden. I think he's more of a slot corner than anything. Could eventually become a safety for this team if they decide to move on from Kevin Byers, say, in a few years. But I don't think KB's going anywhere. Definitely not with that. But I like the crop of corners, at least up until about the 3rd or 4th round. And then that's where it kind of gets a little chippy, in my honest opinion. So I like some of the corners. Spicy Curry says, I have a feeling that we taking Farley, then Elijah Moore in the 2nd, and then a tight end in the 3rd. I wouldn't mind that at all. That would actually be a solid draft. get Farley in the first round, and then you get an Elijah Moore or a Rondell Moore in round 2. I'm good with that. I would be perfectly fine with that. Indeed. So I would like that very, very much. Now, I like the energy that y'all have been bringing. Make sure y'all keep hitting the like button. I want to try to get up to 40 likes on this. So please help the like button. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure y'all share this show out. Share this out to other football fans because I got some things coming up. I'm obviously going to be doing some draft coverage around the draft. And I'm also looking at possibly debuting. I told y'all I am working on a show centered around Tennessee sports. I am also looking at a new concept called TLR, Truth League Report, where I talk about other teams and talk about other things going on around the league of football. So that's something that I think I'm going to be trying out. I may record a episode maybe this weekend. I'm definitely going to be doing that, talking about some other stuff around the league and maybe debuting another mock draft. So that's some things that I'm definitely looking at doing. There's going to be a new look coming very soon. I am definitely putting some things together. There's going to be a new look as far as Titans and Truth. So I guarantee you some things are going to be even better with that. So definitely be on the lookout for that as well coming up around draft weekend. So definitely do that. But before we do get out of here for the night, I definitely want to drop my blue bombshell. And I'm a wrestling fan, as a lot of you know. And this week is WrestleMania week in the WWE. You know, we had Monday Night Raw Monday. There's basically wrestling every night of this week. Last night was the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies for the 2020 and 2021 class. Right now, NXT is doing TakeOver. They're doing 2 nights of that. They have night 1 that's going on right now. That I'm looking at. Night 2 is tomorrow night. Then on Friday, basically the kickoff of WrestleMania on SmackDown. And then you got 2 nights of WrestleMania. And then, of course, you know there's going to be the Raw after WrestleMania is always going to be crazy. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. I'm about to watch the rest of NXT TakeOver. I'm going to enjoy myself with that. I'm a big wrestling fan. Joseph, I know you are huge on that. I know you're watching that now. Jacques Delamusa. Let's see. Jacques Thalusma says we need wide receiver first round. Again, I wouldn't be against that. I would not be against that at all, going wide receiver or corner. I think those are our top 2 draft picks with that. But I'm going to be enjoying WrestleMania week and everything. Next week, we're going to be going into the offensive linemen because we definitely are going to need a tackle or maybe even a guard. We're definitely going to look at some offensive linemen next week. And be on the lookout sometime this weekend. I'm going to unleash a new mock draft. So definitely be on the lookout for that coming very, very soon. I'm going to record that and put that out. So everybody, I believe that is everything. That is the show for tonight. I'm trying to make sure I haven't forgotten to mention anything that maybe I didn't, that I forgot to mention. Oh, by the way, man, Deshaun Watson's in a whole lot of trouble. 22 women have come out and filed lawsuits against him. Doesn't look like Deshaun Watson's going to be the week 1 starter. And it looks like he could be maybe facing jail time. It doesn't look good. Again, innocent till proven guilty. We're definitely going to see. And let's see. Diego says, going to go right tackle in the first round. I doubt it. I don't think they're going to tackle first round. They better not if they know what's good for them. But, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. I know there are some of you that will probably not watch until later or until tomorrow. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for supporting me. More is on the way. I guarantee you some things are going to be a lot different, a lot better. And I guarantee you there's some stuff that's going to be coming up. So be on the lookout. Be ready. Titans and Truth is going to be heading into a whole nother level. That much I assure you. But y'all know me. If nothing else, all we can do is tighten up. I wish y'all a good night. Enjoy some wrestling. Enjoy your night. Be safe. Mask up. Social distance. And I will see y'all next time. Tighten up.